On Thursday evening, Republican Arizona Senate candidate Kari Lake sat down with a PBS host by the name of Ted Simons, who hosts a show called Arizona Horizons. And the two were supposed to have, a conversation about her Senate race, but Kari Lake didn't want to go there. And in fact, the 30-minute interview was so bad that the Arizona Central paper called it cantankerous, contentious, and combative. Adding, quote, "There she was on Thursday evening, swinging her rhetorical sledgehammer with giddy abandon as an audience likely filled with McCain moderates and independents looked on. For a majority of voters, unlikable. After 2 years of virtual nonstop campaigning, Lake has succeeded in boosting the number of Arizonans who don't like her by 9 points." Now, that was just the Arizona Central's take on the entire exchange. And there were several moments during this 30-minute interview where Kari Lake just totally lost it. At one point, Kari Lake said, quote, "You talk about me every week on this show, never invited me on. You get your group of liberal journalists, propagandists, and you talk a lot about the election. You can't move on." That's right, folks. Kari Lake, the woman who has spent the last 2 years whining about losing the governor's race in 2022, is accusing the so-called liberal media of refusing to move on. That's right, it's us. We're the ones that have the problem with the 2022 election, not Kari Lake, who, by the way, is still fighting it in court. Yeah, you thought we forgot about that. By the way, you've also lost every court case you've had with it, but you still keep doing it because the courts, for some reason, still keep letting you. But it was this exchange where Kari Lake really lost it when she was fact-checked about the real state of the economy. So here is the clip of that. Take a look.
Kamala Harris and Ruben Gallego for the inflation. They're spending money like there's no tomorrow. When you print money like there's no tomorrow, you cause inflation to shoot up. And that's exactly what they've done.
The $6.6 billion CHIPS and Science Act, you would not have supported that?
The CHIPS Act,
yes.
There were some problems with it. I liked parts of it, but other parts I didn't like. And look at what happened over at Intel. They got billions of dollars, they got a fortune, and then they let off 15,000 workers. I think we needed to have a deal. If you're going to get this money, you're not going to lay off 15,000 workers.
Without this act, the TSMC in the West Valley likely would not have happened.
I'm not saying I don't support it. I'm saying if I were in the Senate, I would have wanted to change it up.
But that's government spending there, and so is the Infrastructure Act, in which Arizona's received upwards of $7 billion.
Let's talk about the Inflation Reduction Act. We could rename it the Inflation Production Act. Are you denying that we've had inflation shoot through the roof and that things haven't gotten unaffordable?
Well, I'm not denying that, but I am pointing out that the economy right now, GDP is up, unemployment is down, inflation is eased to the point where interest rates have been dropped by Jerome Powell.
I like how you said that. It's eased.
Of course it has.
Here's how inflation works, Ted.
Inflation is a gauge of increase, and it has
inflation goes up a few percentage points, the price goes up.
Stock market is playing
inflation
touch
goes
and go
up a little more.
With record numbers here. Okay. And you're saying the economy is, I think your quote was...
You know what, I have a great idea for you. When you retire here, you should go work for Kamala Harris, because you'd be a great spokesperson for her policies. Her policies are disastrous. The people out in Arizona know it. This is almost comical watching you stand up and push for these policies that are crushing the American family.
I'm asking for you to explain why you say the economy is falling apart when all these indices show that it's not.
Well, let's look at some of the numbers. When they said the job growth number, they threw a huge number out. Every quarter, another huge number, job growth, only to have to revise it downward by 818,000 jobs. Now, you could call it a mistake, or you could say they're lying. But the economy, the real economy of moms and dads out there trying to put food on the table, the people I'm talking to, I talk to a lot more people in Arizona than you do, Ted, every day. I talk to thousands of people a week in Arizona, and they're struggling.
Almost comical, she says, right? Like, you guys and your economic indicators, right? And your jobs reports that get revised down. For the record, the downward revision of jobs reports happens every year under every administration. Left, right, center, doesn't matter. And those revisions come out each year in August. And yes, the number of jobs created was inflated. as it is virtually every single year since these jobs reports have been coming out. Again, under Republicans, under Democrats, it doesn't matter. So that's not a gotcha moment. That's not them lying about it. That's them getting more accurate information, because these jobs reports, for the most part each month, are based partially on estimations. And once the real numbers settle in, that's when the revisions come out. It's not because the government is lying to you. It's actually because they're trying to make sure you get the truth. If they were lying to you, they wouldn't have put out the revised report, something that, by the way, needs to be pointed out every time Republicans bring that up. But she lost it. And for the record, by the way, Ted Simons is correct. Yes, the economic indicators in this country are trending upwards. Now, does that mean that everybody is doing great across this country? Hell no, it doesn't mean that. And let's not pretend that it does, by the way. There are still tens of millions of families struggling every day. You know, their economics have not gotten better. But overall, things are getting better, and hopefully the relief does reach those people. Those are the people we do need to be focusing on. They're the ones that have been left out of this recovery, and that is not okay. So yes, we do need to be doing more to lift up those people that have not experienced the same level of recovery as the overall economy. And the way you do that, by the way, is getting a hold on those corporate price gougers. It really is that simple. Like, that is number one. Number two, you rein in CEO pay so that they're forced to spread more of that money around instead of taking it with them after they, leave the company and go become a CEO somewhere else in a couple years. You do that, you force that money to trickle down. You don't give them tax breaks. You make them give that money to their employees, the people that are propping up their companies. Sounds very simple, however, because those same CEOs and corporations are the ones funding campaigns and funding politicians, it's a lot harder to do in practice, but we get some real progressives in there, some real fighters, we can make these things happen. Kari Lake has no plan to help those people that she says she talks to every week, right? In that clip, she's like, I talk to thousands of people a week. Cool. What have you told them? What have you told them you're going to do, Kari? You didn't mention any of that. All you want to do is sit there and harp on the fact that the economy's not good enough. Okay, so what's your plan? Oh, that's right, you don't have one. You would rather sit here and whine about the 2022 election results than claim that liberals are the ones whining about it, than actually come up with a plan. So you sit there, you whine, you cry, you get angry with a reporter who's basically just giving you the facts, and you can't take it. So it's not surprising that you are losing in the polls by double digits to Ruben Gallego. The most latest polls show that you're down 11 points. And you've been down ever since Sinema, actually, hell, even before Sinema dropped out of the race, you were not polling ahead. So this Arizona Senate race seems to be in the bag for Gallego right now. Yeah, we got a little under a month left still. Anything could happen. But if this is what we're getting from Kari Lake, I don't think that anything can happen that's going to make her the next senator from Arizona. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.